The other subject which we wanted to talk about was this video which Hugo Talks made last week. And for anyone that follows me on Facebook, I brought it up on Facebook and it caused a big old debate, which is exactly what I wanted to happen. That's why I posted it, believe it or not.
New ones out there. Yeah.
So the video in question, I don't have a screenshot of it, but anyone that follows Hugo Talks will know the video I'm talking about. It's where he called out almost everyone in the truth movement, including Dan Aston Gregory. I found the memes to go with it.
Who's Dan Aston Gregory?
This guy here, Dan Aston Gregory. He's sort of not. He's like a life coach, really, and he's been telling the truth about and being quite impartial, but also telling the truth about what's going on. I followed him. Inner Guardian has followed him. He's only recently started talking about inner work and the esoteric side of all this. He has his own platform called Elevate, which sounds a little bit like Rise Above. He has sort of similar stuff on there, working on yourself to, sort of elevate from what's going on. Well, apparently he's a Luciferian. Hugo Talks. Hugo Talks said some good stuff in this video, right? He called out Elon Musk. Yeah, all good. But he started trying to insinuate that anyone that's talking about meditation or breath work or wellness is on like a Luciferian path.
Right.
And he called out the whole New Age movement and lumped in all of, people on a level a bit higher than us, say. Maybe people with 100,000 subscribers. Yeah. So I think Zuby was thrown in there. Who else in the Guardians?
He'll be in there as well.
AJ, I can't remember his surname. He's got a popular podcast.
Yeah, the ex-soldier. There was a lot of people.
I like Hugo.
Santos Bonacci.
Santos Bonacci, yeah.
I like Hugo Talks, but I don't think you should call anyone out because you don't know, do you?
I like Hugo Talks as well. I'm just mentioning it because I think he went a little bit far here.
Yeah.
I think he bit off a little bit more than he can chew. Because if you're going to start saying that anyone who is talking about meditation or maybe yoga or breath work is a New Age Luciferian.
Yeah.
Martial arts.
There's nothing wrong with breath work in yoga, I think.
My clinic as well.
No, I'm not going to sit here and say that the New Age movement and the pushing of occultism hasn't been co-opted and isn't part of the plan. Everything that's happening in the public eye is part of the plan. Newsflash. Sorry, guys. There's no big movement that hasn't been co-opted, hasn't been corrupted, hasn't been infiltrated.
Relaxing is evil.
You could draw a parallel with literally any subject. So, as an example, you could take transgender. Now, has it been used as part of an agenda? Of course it has. But are there people that I wouldn't say suffer, but are transgender that aren't part of the agenda? Of course there are. So it's the same way. You could literally take any subject, and let's face it, it's full spectrum attack. So they've literally gathered every subject and put it into some form of an agenda.
I don't think you should attack anyone, because I think if someone says something to me and it resonates with me, then I'll take it. Whether whether someone calls them a shill or whatever. If it resonates with you, then it's something, isn't it? Even if they are a bloody whatever shill or whatever.
It's the art of the syncretist. You have to be able to extract what is useful and discard what is not.
Yeah, I think what it is, it seems like maybe Hugo is falling into the sort of Christian or Abrahamic viewpoint that anyone that dabbles with this stuff is dancing with the devil. Because I've seen a couple of truthers do it before. I call it going full truth retard. There's one individual called Martin May who all throughout a couple of years through 2020, he was going up to the test centres. He was kicking off at people. He was down with that. He's basically fighting the COVID Union, literally getting into fights with people and filming it and stuff. Right. Which say what you want about that. Then he smoked DMT. And talked about it online, and then within a couple of weeks he'd become a New Age Christian, and he literally put a post saying, "Yoga, all of this, you're Satanists, you're Luciferians, you're going to hell. You have, and obviously that didn't go well for him.
In yoga, just doing a good stretch. I don't. I mean, in meditations, it's just getting your thoughts together. I'm pretty sure Jesus meditated, isn't it?
Well,
Didn't Jesus say the kingdom of the Lord is within?
He's within, you don't need to go to a church. But all Christians go to a church, and meditation's evil. I don't understand.
I do a lot of breathing exercises and meditation. And
you are demonic.
I am, yeah.
Well, I think part of when Inner Guardians brought this to my attention, in the conversation that we had privately, was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Hugo Talks has watched this show, because I've seen our stuff shared to him on Facebook, although he's never accepted my friend request and never replied to my messages. Yeah. I'm sure he's watched this show. All of the things he said could be said about us more than any of those people. We talk about the occult and pull this stuff apart every week. We have an occultist on the show, Master Lee. I call myself a lifelong student of the occult. I spit that in my bars every week. So,
I mean, Hugo's pushed a couple of our videos, and we used to have them all on YouTube, didn't he, Chris?
I think you've chatted to him, haven't you? I mean, I watch his videos.
I invited him on the show. He never even read the message or replied to me. Although I've seen people tag him and say, you should go on Rise Above, you should watch Rise Above. He never replied to me. I'd still happily have him on. I'd actually like to have him on to talk about this.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a very, very important conversation.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, he's done some cracking videos over the last couple of years.
Yeah, he's done some very good work.
Especially documenting those adverse reactions.
Yeah.
To navigate your way around all of this that's taking place right now, you need to have the ability to have the gist of something and have nuance. You can't be a literalist, because that puts you back into the same prison that we're trying to escape from.
For instance, you look at Russell Brand, right? I don't trust the guy, but I don't know whether he's working for whoever we might think he's working for. I don't trust the guy, though. I don't see how people like that can be trusted. But people who are saying the right things, I don't understand. I think Mark Devlin summed it up about David Icke. For someone who's basically told the future 20 years ago, why wouldn't you listen to what he's got to say? Why would he say an Isle of Mason or something,
Yeah, because even if it is true that he's controlled opposition and he's being told to tell everyone what's going to happen, well, he has been true. He has been accurate. So, whether there's merit in everything.
Yeah. I've been dragged into this Luciferian debate, as you can imagine, quite a few times, not just recently, but for years. And whenever I pose the question, which I always do, if I go into a debate, the first thing I have to do is establish first principles where we both have to agree upon something to start with. Because if you can't agree upon the first principle, then you're never ever going to get a solution or a resolution to anything. So when I ask the question, well, by your definition, please explain to me what you mean by Luciferian or Luciferianism. They can't answer.
Yeah.
So then it's just a term. Now there's lots of terms especially in the occult world, in the esoteric world. Even stuff like soul. What a soul? What does a soul mean to you? What does spirit mean to you? What does essence mean to you? What does energy mean to you? It can mean different things to different people. So unless you establish the first principles as to what we're actually talking about, there can't be a resolution or solution to the debate.
To be fair to Hugo Talks, he basically tried to link it back to the Lucis Trust, which goes back to, I believe, Helena Blavatsky's teachings.
Yeah.
It's linked to the UN. I didn't really see how he managed to link Dan Aston Gregory to the Lucis Trust. He was very wishy-washy.
I think I did see that one. Was it when they were all going to the same talk or something?
Yeah, basically, Hugo Talks was saying that there were people there who had been against the narrative all along, alongside that guy called Dr. John Campbell, who had been, first of all, pushing the Britney, and then he'd come to a realisation after he told millions of his followers to go and get it.
I did think that as well, though, that maybe they didn't know and they just went along with the...
But one thing I would say is this, right? There's a space within this discussion that needs to be occupied by everyone. We're occupying this space of the discussion. We're very clear about what we think here on this show, and you guys as well. And we look at it with an eye to the occult and the alternative. People like Dan Aston Gregory, his job was to try and be impartial so that he could speak to those people that might be pushing it, to try and present... You know, we're not really presenting a balanced view here because we know what the fucking score is. We know what it is, and we're explaining it and picking it apart. But there needs to be someone for the fence sitters doing the other job as well.
Well, I still listen to people who I don't fully agree with. I mean, I listen to a lot of people I don't agree with. I mean, but you can't throw them out just because you don't agree with everything they're talking about, you know?
Yeah, I think it's very short-sighted to do that. I think it's very short-sighted to do that because, you know, some people would be completely turned off by watching this show because it's too much.
Yeah.
You know,
the other problem that you're going to witness, and it's already happened, is that sometimes when people go on a particular narrative in the truth movement, almost out of desperation to get content, they basically fudge things together very badly. So I think this is quite a good example of it, because I would be very curious to know what he actually means by Luciferian, and does he actually know anything about the occult or what Lucifer or who Lucifer actually is? Even the Christians don't know who Lucifer is.
Christians
There's a
can't
debate
decide
within Christians.
whether Lucifer is the same thing as Satan or not.
Well,
That's quite important.
I'm not saying I'm a professional on this, but I would hazard a guess. If there is a Lucifer, Satan, devil, etc., surely his biggest trick would be to confuse the shit out of you.
And create division.
Yeah, so you don't know who's who and what's what. But like you were just saying, I take information, and you know, if it resonates with you, don't. I'm not willing to judge anyone. To be fair,
that's why I like doing, like you guys do, deep research and getting a lot of information, because it's difficult to come to a conclusion when you're having a snapshot, 5-minute or 2-minute type of thing. I need to see it there from several different areas that guy were working for DARPA, you know, or whatever it is, because otherwise you don't really know, do you?
No,
you don't know. And
you've got to turn the whole rabbit hole inside out before you get the whole rabbit.
Exactly, and that's what you guys do. That's what we do, which is probably why there's some sort of synergy. You can't just jump to a conclusion just because you think you can jump to a conclusion and then utilize that to look a little bit deeper. But you can't jump to that conclusion and say, right, I'm definitely right.
Well, it's like when you meet a new person, isn't it? You first of all take your instincts and you absorb what they're saying or what they're doing, and then you analyze it, and then you think about it. Do you like them or not? And then you also think, all my conclusions could be totally wrong. And this person, even though I don't trust them, might turn out to be lovely, and I don't know. So there's no point making a judgment call at that point, in my opinion.
But generally speaking, Luciferianism is to do with the light. So anybody that talks about going to the light or being of the light or stuff like that could be classed as a Luciferian. Now, the last time I read the King James Bible, Jesus said that he was the light.
Yeah,
So what does that mean,
Lucifer
then?
is the light bringer, and that was what Hugo was saying. He was highlighting people that call themselves light workers.
Yeah.
Hey,
and stuff like that.
on a slight deviation here, I watched the Krug's the other day with my daughter, and all the way through it, they kept saying, "We need to go to the light. Got to go to the light." And I just thought that was weird. And it was in a film about cavemen, a cartoon about cavemen.
Yeah.
So like Disney Pixar.
Yeah, one of those kind of things. I don't know which one it was, to be fair. But they said it about 10 times. We need to go to the light, follow the light.
I just think, though, you've got to be very careful to pigeonhole every single person part of this Aquarian agenda type CIA 1960s. And I understand why this New Age movement was probably...
Well, the point is, Fight, is to get us all arguing and having given each other shit about it. This is what you should. This is what you shouldn't do.
I would say this is the most dangerous ground that we're talking about when it comes to the esoteric and the occult. And I just want to say this before either I forget or if I get cut off or anything, that it's definitely an area where you need to be very, very careful and cautious, because something like, going to the light could mean something good, it could mean something bad. It's very tempting to go to the light, and it would almost be obvious to go to the light.
Yeah. But that's what moths do.
To their own peril. Yeah. To my understanding and knowledge, okay, to seek the light externally from another person, another source, you lay yourself open to going to the false light.
Yes.
The correct way of going to the light is when you go through the light via your higher self, which is like the narrow path, the direct line to the source. So, for instance, yes, there are New Age movements that will tell you to project yourself over here or over here, receive the light from this or that entity, the Galactic Federation, aliens, whatever, yeah. I would be very cautious of that. But going to the light from within, I don't see a problem with that. And I think that is quite in alignment with even, say, the Christian teaching.
Yeah.
Can I interject there, right? Because Lee, you've actually explained something I've thought about DMT for a long time. Now, DMT is rife through the community at the moment, and I think a lot of people experience like a void at first, and then they see a light, and they either go with the light or they don't. And I think that is the fake light you talk of. I think because
it could be.
It's really difficult because people have got mixed views on DMT. I think it's not what humanity needs at the moment. So it's exactly what they would give,
Yeah.
Because it separates everyone, but it makes you individual on your own. You look at this inner self, you look within,
Yeah, and this is
we
why...
need to be part of togetherness,
Yeah, and this is... People always ask me, what teachers, what books should they read? What do I recommend? What do I refer? And I always have to say, it's almost like I can't. It's almost impossible. Reason being is because all of the great works, all of the great literature has been hijacked at some point. So for me to steer you to some writer from 100 years ago or some mystic or prophet or whatever, teacher, at source, had you been in the presence with them, you may have been able to get something useful. But the moment it's written down, and then by the time it's passed on and translated or updated, do you really think that the dark occult world, all the powers that shouldn't be, are not going to usurp and hijack that teaching, that path, and then turn it into a society, an institution, organization, and then they can give a false teaching? And that's basically what you're seeing with the so-called New Age movement. The New Age movement, for the most part, is a psychological operation, and it's the dark occult world that has hijacked the light occult or the useful esoteric knowledge.
Yeah, because people that are pushing this idea that the New Age is, a psyop, which in some respects it is, like you've just explained. It's very important to point out that these teachings were not made up in the 1800s by Blavatsky or later by Crowley. They were rediscovered by those people and reinterpreted. They were not invented by them. These teachings are the original teachings of all ages, as described by Manly P. Hall.
Yeah, they're the fragments of an unknown teaching.
Yeah. A teaching that predates our civilization.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that was on the Emerald Tablets of Thoth.
This is what the syncretist has to do. The syncretist has to, and this is why I say no one's coming to save you. You're going to have to be your own syncretist. You're going to have to figure it out for yourself. You're going to have to go through lots of information. Now, if you're fortunate enough, you can meet people along the way that may be able to help you and stop you from wasting your time by going into certain teachings or rabbit holes that have been hijacked. So you don't need to waste your time on that. But for the most part, you're going to have to do the work and go through it and see what resonates and see what is true. And the way to do it is to activate the higher self. If you're not in contact with your higher self, you're just going to go deeper into false teachings. So I always recommend the first thing you need to do is to connect or activate and reconnect with your higher self. That higher self aspect of yourself is the one that can do the correct discernment via intuition.
I'm just processing that.
It's very important. Very important. When you come close to any esoteric or occult knowledge, that you have to reconnect and activate the higher self. Or you could say the third eye, when in actual fact it's the first eye.
Yeah, it's
sounds very satanic to me.
Well, you'll know what's true. You'll know what's true by the resonance.
Solid gold, Master Lee, says Zaya Zeitgeist. Yeah, that was solid gold.
Excuse me, guys, but I'm gonna.
Yeah, I'm gonna leg it in a sec as well. But
I've got a 4-year-old who's gonna definitely wake up. I didn't realise it was nearly 2:00.
That's how it goes on a Friday night.
Love you all,
Thank you very
guys.
much for joining us, Chris.
Yeah, love you all, and I'll speak to you soon.
Rise above.
Fantastic.
Thanks for the ashtray.
Nice one. No problem.
Rise above.
See you
Rise
soon,
above,
guys.
brother.
Bye-bye.
Sound, every positive movement, every conversation, every connection, every seed you plant, ripple. Don't let anyone ever tell you that one person can't make a change. Bullshit.
On the dawn of a harvest sun, are we speaking the truth in the sharpest tongue? Feast on a rabbit, served with a garnished lunch. We got the hardest puns. Mind master, trust your ability. NPC is an IQ deficiency. They're living in mental captivity. I'll never submit to these bloodline dynasties. On the dawn of a harvest, crops are sown to trade corn with the farmers. Sometimes I want out of this nightmare society, like I was born with the Amish. I've got the formula mastered, claiming our power, there's more to be harnessed. I'm no ordinary artist, try wage war, I'll be forming the armies. QRANOX, that's Equinox. Our essence is infinite, not confined to meat suits or Tesla bots. On the night of a harvest moon, on the dawn of a harvest song, we're telling them welcome to the Equinox. Welcome to the Equinox.
On the night of a harvest moon, I take flight to the farthest tomb. I meditate in the darkest room by the candlelight until the spark exhumes. On the night of a harvest, I see a silhouette hunter hold up a carcass. Any heartbeat's a target, and blood trails the ground like red carpet. On the night of a harvest moon, so sacred, silk on an ancient loom. Hooded robes in ritual rooms, pray all night from yesterday's moon. On the night of a harvest, farmers emerge and they set up a market. It's all business regardless, where your loot is bought and sold and bartered.
QRANOX, that's Equinox. Our essence is infinite, not confined to meat suits or Tesla bots. On the night of a harvest moon, on the dawn of a harvest song, we're telling them welcome to the Equinox. Welcome to the Equinox. On the dawn we glance to the east. We ain't scared of the mark of the beast. Performing sacred rituals, nobody but a shaman and me. If they wanna take me out, they better come with at least 33 Schwabi and Fleet. Cause I won't go real quietly, they're gonna have to do more to silence me. That's the irony, lost in this messed up society. They wanna force their views on our offspring, teaching our children that gender's non-binary. This is social engineering to try fulfill transhuman agenda. Al Gore better come prepared, cause I ain't in the mood to be censored. EQRA-NOX, that's Necronox. Our essence is infinite, not confined to meat suits or Tesla bots. On the night of a harvest moon, on the dawn of a harvest sun, we're telling them welcome to the Equinox. Welcome to the Equinox.
I'm a freelance quantum gardener with a homemade combine harvester. So when I see your crops wilting, I got the organic rod that will harden them. This realm rotates in cycles, encounter rotational Solomon spirals. Masons build towers like Eiffel and vortex points to drain your vital. Simulacrums appear cyclical, toroidal electro-spiritual. The holosphere projects physical, the manifestational synergy's mythical. We got problems, parasitical inside this torus field is critical. Henceforth mankind is pitiful. Rise and shine, please explain.
I've been doing a little bit of research in the last couple of days into AI generated art. Now, the reason I wanted to look into this is because, like we've said on the show before about creativity and about how what is sort of quite unique to, you know, the soul is that it can create, and you know we can create art, music. But there's this big thing that artists are now getting scared of AI created art. So I thought we'd have a look at some. Okay. Now this is what was typed in. I don't know which engine this was. Someone typed in the last selfies before the end of Earth, and they came up with this. Right, so this is all generated from just typing a sentence into like a search bar, and then Al Gore searches the internet.
This is what he gives you back.
Yeah. The photo on the left looks like someone that used to be on the show. So.
Yeah,
so we've got this post-apocalyptic
about talking about this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So I don't know if you showed any of the examples. This is another quite a famous example that's been, I don't know what was typed in to get this, but, you know, obviously you can type in a kitten or a dog or something like that doing whatever you want and it'll come up with it. But it's been creating some really interesting stuff, this one as well. Very sort of biblical, fallen angels type of stuff. This
Why
is what
would they need to do this though, Lance? Why would they need to do this? I mean, I know it's an hypothetical. I'm answering the question. It's rhetorical, but you know.
Well, I suppose it for creators, you could argue that. I mean, you could use it in the same way that you use AI to write sort of short news blurbs that you just don't need a human to do. I don't know. Maybe it could create adverts and stuff like that.
Well, there's something that no one's talking about, and it's AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, or the baby.
I've heard that term.
Yeah, so we're looking, like I already mentioned, at the kind of low end of it. So you've got your autocorrect, auto-suggestion, and the power of association. Blockchain, crowd economy, as an example. What I predict will happen is that we'll start to see AI will start bidding for jobs. Things like reading, drawing, translating, mapping, searching. I mean, it's already happening. This is already taking place.
It's already editing videos as well. You can edit a whole video with AI.
I don't think we're quite at the stage yet of AI. I think we're still at the AGI level, and that will be the foundation for the AI. Once we hit, or we get close, very close to the singularity.
Yeah. Because someone has to type in a command to get these pictures, right? So you go into the website and you type in the command, and then Al Gore works away with what you've said. Now, I've done a couple of experiments, right? So I found a site and I typed in the takeover of the Soviet Union, right? And the first one came up with these images. I'll just make them full screen because this is quite interesting. They're not very high definition. You've got to pay for the better ones.
Got magenta there.
It's like cyberpunk.
Yeah, but look at this character here. It looks a little bit like Donald Trump.
Yeah, it does look
dressed
like
as like
Trump,
a town crier or something, right? So these are the least interesting ones. They get better, right? This one, in the same engine, I typed in the Greta reset, and it came up with this.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, on its own, this is actually quite a good piece of art. I mean, I don't know.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's very abstract, but it's pretty good. This was the Greta research.
Can anybody find a video of Alexa? Somebody asked the question of Joe Biden falling off his bicycle, and it gives a very interesting response.
Oh, really?
Has anybody seen that? I've heard it.
No, but it's funny. Alexa's funny. It gives off. Oh, sorry, I was talking over you.
No, it's not. Yeah, you won't go.
It's like some of the questions asked to Alexa, she gives the most sometimes truthful, sometimes batshit crazy answers. It's weird, but I just wanted to mention about supercomputers and so a supercomputer works in qubits, which is, I think, is it 1,000 gigabytes a qubit? I'm not sure, but it's really funny. And it's qubit, like QUBIT, same as it is in the Bible. What's that all about? I don't get it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, maybe that's harking back to some ancient.
It's like Lance. It's like it was a number 5 slide when I came on your show to do the presentation about the Antera mechanism found in the sea in Greece, and it's an ancient computer. You know, it in my view, AI. It's weird, but I think AI has been in this realm for a long time. I think.
Yeah.
That's probably the parasite, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what. I think God Vage alluded to that. So this is what Al Gore came up with when I typed in the Soviet Union takeover on this one called DALI. Got some really. I typed in on the right Lord Schwab's plan. Now, when I typed in Lord Schwab's plan, I got some really interesting images, like proper end of the world shit. This one on the left, like what the fuck? The Soviet Union takeover with the map. Look at these. So you've got loads of like sort of obese NPCs. When I typed in Soviet Union takeover, this is what Al Gore came up with. But look at this, Lord Schwab's plan, and it came up with that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really quite interesting.
I think you're getting replies from Noel Harari from Israel.
I think Noel Harari has sent all these crypto bots into the chat. Like, look at the state of them. They're everywhere.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, the sex bots didn't work. Lord Schwab's plan. Here's some more very abstract sort of like, I don't know. Right, I typed in monkeypox apocalypse, and look what I got. I got black-eyed babies with monkeypox. Why have they got black eyes? Do you remember the story of these black-eyed babies post Britney Spears?
Yeah. Lance, have you seen the video, guys? There's one video, right? And it's a baby boy. Oh my God, I've got it on my PC somewhere. It's a baby boy. He must be like 9 months, a year. He can walk. He's climbing up the fridge. He gets down. He goes out on the balcony. He climbs over the balcony and he looks back in the lounge as he's going down, making his escape. And the look he gives you is like, wow. It's nuts. It's like some of these babies are being born with like superpowers.
I've heard about this. Yeah, babies holding up their heads really young and stuff like that.
Yeah, like 3 weeks old, the baby's like sitting up or something. It's like nuts.
Yeah, well, I thought it was interesting. I mean, obviously, I'm using very low end Al Gore technology to come up with these images. There's much better ones that you've got to pay for. But this is what I could get for free. But yeah, guys, have a go. Like, go on Google, just type in AI art generator, and see what Al Gore comes up with, and see how creative it is. I mean,
someone type in Klaus Schwab's lair in Tomorrowland. That's what I want to know. That's another little subject. Honestly, I've heard a couple of people say this. Right? It was. Is it Andrew Tate? You know, the kickboxer.
Oh yeah.
He speaks. He's good.
I've introduced him in the cage. You know, I met him in person.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you? I chatted to him. I was going to buy I was watching him. I was going to buy a Bitcoin when it was £8,000. Didn't.
He's all right, but I think he's actually a pimp in real life. Like some of the stories he tells.
Yeah.
Like, like an actual pimp.
He made his millions through setting up sex cam websites, stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But anyway, watch. There's an episode with James Delingpole. It's a brilliant episode. It's very powerful, very, very masculine. But yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah, Yeah, I met him. I said I've seen some of your videos. I don't agree with everything he says. For anyone that's watching, some of the stuff he said is like super sexist. He's clearly quite misogynistic. But you know, that's the art of the syncretist. You've got to take the rough with the smooth. So we've had a nice diverse chat there. Where
Dom,
we go next?
have you heard of a? Sorry, have you heard of it's a government program from I think 40, 50 years ago called Tetris in the UK.
Yes, vaguely.
Yeah.
You're just going to try and spark me into doing some more research, aren't you?
Yeah, try to.
Lance does that. It drops a little nuance, and then all of a sudden, woof.
Send an email that starts the whole thing.
It's like sometimes you can be talking. Sorry, I was talking over Tom.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, I think there's a delay when I'm watching it. But anyway, yeah, it's like when you're talking to normie sometimes, what we know, and I've got a very fast hyper brain sometimes, and you can literally dip. You start on like, what do we live in? And you end up on the most random subject. You know, there's so much. It's like we've been overloaded with all of this information. It's nuts, isn't it? You can sound batshit crazy.
Well, but I was listening to someone, I think with James True, and he was saying that the difference between people like, say, yourself and Normie is that we can actually handle the download. People who are watching this, we can actually handle what the answer is.
Yeah, or at least consciously take our own time to try and process and get to where the answer is, rather than just put up the firewalls and use the pre-inbuilt defense mechanisms by accepting whatever level of the the clownery you want to,
I think it's
whichever way.
What to do with we're able to actually ask the questions in the first place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we've just
you have to know where to draw the line.
We might just have more modern processors installed.
It's like the whole party gate. It's like even this. It depends on your perspective, but it's even with what I know about AI, and it's like everything. You can go from low to high in sort of dangerous levels. So you got Partygate at the bottom. You got the election now. All distractions. Climate change is just another distraction, really, but it's also an agenda. And you keep going up, and then you got China, Russia. But at the end of the day, whatever happens with China, Russia, and the West, AI is still something to worry about. You know, I keep thinking about Terminator. And it's cyber dying.
I think it's one of the biggest things we should be looking at of concern for humanity.
Yeah, sort of like it could, in the wrong hands, it could be the universal enemy. Also, it could be something that's, if harnessed correctly, could obviously be a powerful tool. Like anything, it's a double-edged sword.
Well, think about the freedom it would give if we put AI into the workplace as opposed to humans. Think about the freedom we would have, the creativity that would be generated.
The main problem is what we're talking about when it comes to AI is life out of non-life, which is a massive anomaly in creation. Because if you look at everything, it comes from something.
Which is why we should maybe be looking at them as a tool as opposed to another life form. But AI, that's not the nature of AI, I realise that.
Well, it's going to take over, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the problem, is because it's going to become a life form.
That's it.
So it's going to be life from non-life. So
essentially, it only ever is an algorithm.
From a couple of people there.
Sorry,
I heard some information. Sorry. I heard some information about a couple of people have mentioned that the singularity. Two people said that it's already happened. It already happened in like 2010. That's what I've heard. Well, whether it's true or not, we don't know. But it's it's really nuts what's going on.
Well, it depends, I guess, what you think the singularity is. I mean, if you think it's switching on some sort of sentient AI that's running in the background, that could have already happened. But if it's going to be, the coming together of every device,
the IoT,
digital individuals under the thumb, as I said in one of those lyrics earlier on, that is a forthcoming event. That hasn't happened yet. So
This
it
is what
depends.
Steiner spoke about this. He called it the war against all. So if you look at war, it creates a division, a separation, conflict. So if you was to go with the war against all and everything, that basically means that everything will be severed, and then it can be, I guess, swabbed back together as a singularity.
I think you just described the fourth industrial revolution in Schwab's words, didn't you? Blending,
Pretty much.
yeah, breaking everything down and then blending it back together again, swabbing it all together into a big golem, a massive soulless meat sack.
Because
It just does what they're told.
Think about this. Let me ask a question. Which is more important, construction or demolition?
You could argue both. Demolition means the building of the new.
Well, you can't have one without the other.
Yeah, they have to be
Yeah,
balanced.
exactly,
The creator, that's Kali, that's Shiva, isn't it? It's the creator and the destroyer.
Yeah, it's like I work in construction. I'm working on a road job at the moment in Southampton, but it's funny, right? It just dawned on me this week. So I take pride in my work. I always do it the right way. Don't do shortcuts, etc. And I'm thinking about, what does it really matter? Because if this reset's coming, then what does it fucking matter?
It matters because of what it does for you. That's what I think. If something makes you feel good, like the special touch you put into your work, then that is important for your soul to go through.
It's probably like your carpentry.
Sorry, go on.
That's it. It's like I'm a carpenter as well. If you're a carpenter, you like to make things nice. Everything's perfect, etc., etc.
Yeah, not all of that.
I'm sure Andy.
Yeah, man.
What were you going to say, Lee?
I've forgotten now. It will come back. Don't worry.
We're getting to about that time. Almost 5 hours.
Yeah,
It's a birthday
I'm starting to get
special,
tired.
baby.
Here's a birthday special. I'm sure we're going to have more music from Moment Beats, don't
What are you
worry.
saying about that?
So yeah, someone just put in the comments, wow, Master Lee. And I think you were just talking about the balance between construction and demolition.
That's right.
So I guess, if you look at the yin and yang, it has to be 50% of each, doesn't it? To have the balance.
Yeah, I just remembered now.
There you go.
So from a esoteric perspective, if you look at, say, the Silver Age, this kind of artificial reality, it's inevitable and it's going to happen whether we like it or not. It's a stage of civilization that we have to go through. Now, the question is the experience of this artificial reality going to be the same for everybody? You could equally ask the question, if you have, so for instance, some people have the ability to astral project or remote view. Now, how will that factor in with the augmented reality or metaverse? So I'm going with a theory that I'm preparing myself, and I do this in various different ways. So as an example, I have the ability to project consciousness even on a mundane level, and I'm not talking in some kind of abstract terms, going to different dimensions. I just mean literally within this dimension, within my own body. So the exercise where you sense your feet. Well, the majority of the population can't really do that consciously.
Right.
So if you can't direct or project your attention to your feet, how well do you think you're going to fare? How well do you think you're going to be able to travel or maneuver or do anything in a non-physical reality or some kind of metaverse? Because at the end of the day, all this is leading towards, and you can see it already with some of the experiments and some of these things that they're doing, where it's about thought projection. So the ability to control reality by thought alone.
Yeah.
So like I say, I'm going with a theory that we can't stop this. It's going to happen one way or another. So how best can I prepare myself for if I end up in that position? And this literally takes you all the way back to the Holy Bible. it's written in the Holy Bible many times about the situation. So it's nothing new. I don't think any of this is nothing new. It may have happened before. We may already be living in it partially in some way, with our attention, our ability to be conscious. Because also in the esoteric world, the term of evolution is actually humanity de-evolved with the degree of consciousness, and there's always this myth that things are better now than they were before. Well, there may be in some ways, maybe with technology, or not even that, but potentially where we've degraded is in our ability to have consciousness, or to be able to direct or project our attention.
Spiritually, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a very important point, because look at some of that augmented reality technology that Microsoft was looking into with Marina Abramovich. It was all about the experience and the thought and the feeling. It wasn't about really observing something. It was about the feeling and the thought. I just wanted to say sorry to Esoteric Knight of Malta, because my tablet just completely died and ran out of battery, so it's on 0. And it's probably a little bit late to charge it up now at this point of the show. So
Well,
thank you to Rob.
It's like the age of the Renaissance, isn't it? As a culture, they were into arts, music.
I think the Renaissance signifies the start of the reset of every Renaissance. There is every reset is
the start of a new cycle,
or coming back after a reset.
Look at the
golden age.
Look at the creativity that's happening now. Look at the creativity that's happening in the Renaissance that we know about.
We can all practice exercises, polymathic exercises. So as an example, a very, very simple one. We all know this, but no one ever told us what it really meant. So as an example, when, let's say somebody's upset emotionally, a common piece of advice will be something like count to 10. We've all heard that expression, yeah?
Sure.
Count to 10. Now, basically what you're doing by counting, what are you doing? You're using the left side of the brain, using logic. So you're taking yourself out of an emotional state and putting yourself more into a logical state by counting. So that will balance out the
makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So by being able to do that, it means that you're not just a victim of your emotions or some kind of external stimulation that's triggered the emotions into a reaction as opposed to a response. So as an example, to remedy that, you count to 10. You put yourself more into the left side of the brain, and you become more logical, which will balance out. That'll be your positive and your negative, the balancing of the forces. So that's just like one simple exercise. Now, to extend that, I mean, we could even try it now if you're interested.
Yeah, why not?
I'll try my best. So, as an example, to be a polymath, being a polymath, you can be a polymath externally, or in the external world, you can be a polymath. So you could be a carpenter, bricklayer, drive a car, be an artist, designer, so on and so forth. Now, we can and we should equally be a polymath internally. Now, what would that mean? What would it look like? It's actually very, very simple, but it's been degraded. So, as a very, very simple example, if you was to say sense your feet, so if you place your attention on your feet, simultaneously you're observing something external. So if everybody's looking at their screen or computer or phone or whatever, tablet, so observe the screen, the visuals. So it's an external stimulation. Simultaneously sense your feet. So you're dividing your attention twice. So that's polymathic. And we all kind of do it, but we do it unconsciously. But now we're going to try and do it consciously. So we sense our feet, we look at the screen, we see a visual. So we're using our senses, we're dividing our senses. Now simultaneously, we're going to splice our attention 3 ways. So you're going to listen to my voice consciously. So you place your attention in your feet, on the screen, and to my voice at the same time. So what you should find, if it might be difficult for the first time, but when you practice this, and you can do it anywhere, sitting in the park, sitting waiting for a bus, train, So remember, keep your attention on the feet. Don't forget about the feet. Have full sensation of the feet. Full sensation or visual sensation of the screen. Simultaneously, we're splicing twice our attention. So you're listening to the voice. Now, what you'll find is an expansion of awareness. So you're growing your consciousness. So it's a simple exercise, same way you go to the gym and you may do compound exercises to expand your strength. Well, what we're actually doing is we're expanding the metaphysical side of ourselves. And like I said, it's nothing abstract. It's right here, right now, and it's a direct, realistic experience. Now, once you start to get the kind of gist of that, it will grow and grow. So basically, you can expand your awareness. Now, when you expand your awareness in the correct way, so you're self-strengthening, it's not artificial. Maybe then you can start to use other senses like telepathy. You can actually project remote view. Now, these are baby steps, and I should imagine this is the level that we're at with the algorithms learning from us. It's the they call it baby mind. The level of the baby mind.
In its early stages, yeah.
Early stages, yeah. So the exercise that we just did would literally be the baby steps, the early stages of the expansion or the strengthening of our consciousness. And it's free of charge, other than you pay by the effort.
The most important currency of all.
Yeah.
Your attention.
And this is the participation of your own existence, and that's what the war is against, because all the time they want to steal your attention. They want to use distraction to take your attention away. So somebody else, listen to this, somebody else could be using your consciousness. Somebody else could be using, or something else, a third party or second party entity could be using your awareness, your consciousness, and you're not using it yourself. So, for instance, you're feeding something else. You're feeding your consciousness to something else when you're actually in a state of starvation.
A parasite.
Imagine how many people have had in-depth arguments with bots online.
Yeah.
You're literally feeding your essence into Al Gore, charging him up, teaching him about humanity.
And once again, even right now, how many people can't sense their feet? How many people have lost that full attention on the visual of the screen? How many have lost the attention of my voice or our voices? So it's not easy. We can see how weak we are in terms of our level of consciousness. This is the real work, and it's so simple.
I wondered how long it was going to be before you said, "How are your feet?" Because that's what you did to me in our first conversation. You started that exercise, and then you carried on talking about something else, and then just right in the middle of the sentence, like, "How are your feet?" And I was like, "Damn," because I've been concentrating really hard on my feet. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
So we start in a controlled environment, and as you get a little bit stronger, you can we call it additions. So you add things to it, or you allow yourself to be around greater distractions. So maybe a busy shopping centre. Then you can put movement into it. So while you're walking along, you sense the ground, the bottom of the feet touching the ground, and you may hear the sound of the birds. And we all know the expression about like wake up and smell the coffee. Well, that's kind of instead of just drinking the coffee, you smell the coffee. All we're doing is an expansion of awareness and consciousness, and that's how we grow. We grow our consciousness, or we can do, or not. But if you're not, somebody else is freeloading on your consciousness, because you have a creator's given right to have this consciousness. Now it's up to you what you do with it.
Yeah, not to have it parasited away by outside entities. I mean, think about what the sugar mountain really is about. Zuckerberg
taking your essence.
Yeah, it's a sugar mountain to attract you
from
with
various platforms
with your attention. So you go there scrolling, liking, getting the dopamine hits every time. That's just a little bit of your essence trickling
and
away.
again, you're feeding the algorithm.
Yeah.
At the same time.
We all do it. Yeah.
And we don't need to be kind of uber spiritual about all of this. I try my best not to be kind of uber spiritual. I can do these exercises, I can do these practices when I'm just doing mundane things. If anything, it's better that way. It's better to do it anonymously. When you're in the waiting room, when you're at the bus stop, when you're whatever you're doing. Start by placing your attention somewhere in the body. The feet is a good place because it's the furthest point away from the brain. You can do it in a stationary position. Then maybe divide your attention once into something else. So you've got two points of perspective to look upon or sense or listen to, and then you just keep compounding it. You have additions, or you add on, bolt on, and then the next stage will be that you extend it. Then you extend it, and you'll be surprised what you can actually hear from a distance when you pay attention.
Fine tuning
also what you can
the meat suit
and what you can sense. So as an example, and this taken into sort of advanced stages, this is where you can start to have extra sensory perceptions.
Yeah.
So instead of sensing your feet, you may be able to combine, synthesize your hearing with your physical sensing. So you may be able to, what you're listening to, you may be able to sense at a distance. I mean, the potential's there.
Is
All
this
you got
where
to do is have, yeah.
does this open up the door for that synesthesia that we've talked about?
Yeah, definitely.
Where the crossing over of it's something that I've experienced only a couple of times. It's very powerful. The crossing over of senses, being able to to taste the color or to see a sound.
Yep, definitely. And I can guarantee you one thing. That, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me?
Oh, shit.
There's 172 people tuned in.
Hello, people. Can you hear us?
Hello. Let's get Master Lee. Yeah,
Salutations.
There he is.
You saved the stream. You did a Logan.
You've done a Logan, mate.
You Loganed it hard. Well done. Nice one.
Because they didn't believe Lee. I was actually saying, no, Lee's got this. He's going to stay online. He's going to keep talking. He's going to do what he's supposed to do, right? And he did. And everyone's like, oh, Andy's gone home.
Yeah, Andy left.
Like, shut the computer. I was like, no. And then he checks his phone and you were still chatting. I'm like, yes, Lee, come on.
That's a good save. Excellent work.
Well, my microphone muted for a while. I'm not quite sure what happened then.
Well, it started with you. It's actually started by you freezing. Oh, right, I'm back here. Yeah, it started by you freezing, and then I looked, and then it was going all yellow and red here, saying bad connection. Then it said no internet. I restarted the router, and yeah, so that's the thing. If it ever happens,
stay on.
As long as you stay on, the stream keeps going, I think. So that's a good little.
That's a bit of a new feature that Big Stream introduced. I'm liking it though.
Yeah, it's a good way to save the stream because it actually said here that the stream has ended. You can download it.
It did say it ended.
I mean, I haven't got a chat. I haven't got anyone in the chat, so I don't really know what's going on there.
You have to join the old chat. Oh, yeah, is that not the chat there? No,
there's just no chat. Chat stream, the server could not be found. But we've still got, 172 people tuned in, so...
Do you think it's some kind of cyber attack?
Possibly. I mean, was there bots in the room at the time?
Well, we had... I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, I know for a fact no one kicked any wires down here or anything or pulled any connections out. That didn't happen.
Andy did say the router was extremely hot.
No, I think he said that computer was hot. Maybe the router overheated, I don't know. Maybe it's too smoky in here.
No, I don't think it's the smokiness of it. It's never been...
I think it's to do with psychic charge.
Possibly. You were talking about something like that as well, weren't you?
Don't get me to operate anything digital or electronic. Right treat.
No, we won't. We are going to be broadcasting Raw Treat. I've actually been speaking to.
Surely not.
Yeah, but properly. We're going to have a laptop there. I'm going to take the Queefmaster Pro. We're going to link the decks directly in, so there'll be a proper feed.
So where are you going to get the signal from? Satellite?
I'm going to have to. You'll have to be off the phone. We'll have to do it in 480.
I went down there the other day and tested. I'm not sure. I think you need to go and read.
I did it on my phone.
Yeah.
Well,
let's go and get Skynet. Skylink, whatever it's called.
We've got the
Hook it
equipment.
with Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's it.
We've got the equipment. It's just a case of making sure there's enough connection. But yeah, I think Snell's going to be the media guy that's going to sit there on a nice little director's seat and look at the comments and everything. But yeah, we've got to do it for people at home.
Maybe we can do like little like highlights of what's going on, like live highlights. That'd be pretty cool. I reckon to broadcast the whole festival.
No, not the whole festival. I mean, like say from 8 o'clock onwards on the main stage.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a rapporter, a raving rapporter.
Oh yeah, that'll be me during the day. I'm going to do that. I thought that'd be fun.
The rapporter. This is the revelation.
Anyone that comes over to the anti-Coviet lemonade stand will probably be on Rise Above Live during the day. So yeah, well,
Sam Carno actually come up with some really good ideas for how we can do that. Actually, so I think you need to have a chat with him about his idea before we go whacking out the broadcast.
All right. But I think we do need to broadcast as much as we can.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Sorry, Lee.
At what point did it cut out?
We were just about to drop something heavy.
You were about to say something. You stuck your finger out and you froze, and that was it. I was like, oh, I bet he's about to say something good then.
I think everybody else got it.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, yeah, I remember now. What I was going to say is you can be guaranteed of one thing, that the dark occult world, well, the exercise that I just showed you, the dark occult world have advanced this to levels that you will never believe. So as an example, the dark occultists, they can use it to monitor people, they can read your mind, read your thoughts, and also implant thoughts. I mean, we already know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sort of like
but
NLP
you don't need technology. You don't need these kind of MK Ultra things. I think for the most part, a lot of that is a smokescreen.
I think subliminal repetition is quite a big one of their tools they like to use.
Yeah.
Well, the only way that it could have been achieved so far is by using either something that's in the food, the air, the water, or the mainstream media, or all of them.
The mind.
I'll tell you how they use it. I'll let you into a secret.
Mm-hmm.
How many people we got tuned in?
164.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So I guess lots of people will watch this afterwards.
Yep.
Right. So everybody's experienced anticipation. That sensation you get of anticipation. Okay. Now, what is that? It's that kind of midpoint before where you are right here and now and to where you're going to be. Like it's the cushion between the now and something in the future. Yeah. So you could actually describe it as the field of potential. Now, for most people, they don't know how to manage that field of potential via anticipation. I would say most people, especially because of the mainstream media, and what do they try and do? They put everybody into a fear state.
Yeah.
So on a daily basis, we've lost the ability to manage that anticipation. And you could describe anticipation as some kind of spectrum. So you got like the low end, like, should I have tea or coffee? Okay, so that's kind of almost irrelevant. And then you got the larger things of anticipation, like buying a new house, buying a new car, getting involved in a new relationship, emigrating. You know, that's a bigger part of the spectrum, and it would create a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. So for as long as you're in that kind of field of potential with anticipation, and you don't know how to manage it, as in how to remain calm, cool and collective, then that's where they get in. And this is why they're using the mainstream media, in fact all forms of media, to get people stuck mismanaging that field of potential. because that's where they can get in and they can alter and manipulate.
Yeah, the state of fear. Like if you're in a state of fear and you don't handle fear very well, for example, you haven't taught yourself how to deal with that, then you're very susceptible to.
Well, it's keeping
influence.
everybody operating in the confines of the R complex, the reptilian brain.
It does. It's all, you have to look at NLP for this, really, because this is if you were to understand a bit more about, not you personally, but people in general, to understand more about NLP towards themselves,
But
and how it can influence themselves.
It's way simpler than NLP. It's way simpler than mesmerism, hypnosis, or anything like that. Everybody knows what I mean when I say anticipation.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's kind of like a nervousness, and this is where the sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Hence why. And what happens when you're nervous? It affects your breathing. Okay, you lose control of your breathing. So this is when we practice parasympathetic breathing or conscious breathing. We're bringing ourselves back into some kind of control of that field of potential. Now, for as long as you remain in a state of anxiety in that field of potential, not only this is where the dark occult world can insert the program, not of your choosing. It's also, this is like where the agents of the denying force, or archons, or entities, or you could say maybe artificial intelligence can get in with some kind of attachment.
Okay.
And steer. And now when you go around the realm tomorrow, what do you see? You'll see people wearing masks, you'll see people doing all these bizarre rituals. Now, where did that come from? It's come from the last 2 years, where people have been where? They've been in that field of potential of anticipation, suffering from anxiety. They don't know what to do. So they're very suggestible. You could pretty much, and this is an experiment. The dark occult world are experimenting on humanity with regards to the field of potential. Maybe in the past they would have used guns, whips, chains, but now they've mastered the art of that field of potential, where they can use direct manipulation by inserting programs and inception.
Inception,
indeed.
And we can see how people's minds have been incepted, how rogue programs and software programs have literally been inserted into people's daily rituals.
Yeah, and now you're seeing mothers won't talk to their sons, fathers won't talk to their daughters, brothers and sisters don't talk. That's the power.
The breakdown of the family unit is one of their key winners.
That had to be done before by using brown shirts or thugs
or porn
with guns, scaring people into alienating themselves from their friends and family. Oh, he's an enemy of the state, they're a secret spy. But now it's just done with, like you say, much more subtle, but it's actually more direct means.
Yeah.
Direct suggestion, direct implanting.
It's a narrow bandwidth where the agents of the denying force can operate. And it puts you in a state where you're in balance, because you're basically being programmed by dark forces. And this is why I say, like, whatever your dreams, aspirations, imaginations were in 2019, you need to pick them back up. Don't let them go. Start to visualize again, but visualize your own reality, visualize your own thoughts. Don't start visualizing the mainstream media narratives.
Yeah, they've certainly narrowed the pathway, and then what that's allowed is when people start to broaden their horizons again, they're going to be using potentially the mainstream media's ideas of what you should be doing.
Well, listen, I saw it, the kickback that I got as soon as I started to do things like go and perform at festivals which were claiming to follow the rules, flying to other countries. I got a lot of kickback for going on a honeymoon to Mexico because I had to, put a mask on when I crossed the border to get into Mexico. But the fact was, the people that were giving me shit about that, they've been sat at home visualizing the blueprint of the Soviet Union as it's being given to them, when no one can do anything or go anywhere, and they were actually living that out and projecting it upon themselves. And I said to these people, I said, look, okay, you can actually do the Great Reset to yourself. as much as you want. You can fulfill Lord Schwab's plans by simply enacting them on yourself. Oh, I won't take part in society. I won't go anywhere that's complying with any of this out of principle. Well, even if you don't have to do it out of principle, well, you're going to be doing his work for.
Yes, they're narrowing their own pathway.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's go a little bit deeper. We won't go too deep, but let's go a little bit deeper.
Oh, now,
so as an example, we had confirmation of the power of heat. Okay, so that's at a distance, and we're using some type of energy. We don't need to go into what type of energy, but there's some kind of spooky action at a distance, as Einstein, whoever he was, said. Now, you've also got the opposite of that. So you can actually make people sick, and this is what dark occultists will practice. It's practiced within the martial arts. So you can actually heal people. You can actually invert that and make people sick. Yeah. Once again, that's what we've been witnessing. Now, people kind of have realized that there's some type of hypnosis that has taken place. Okay. Now, most people don't realize or don't understand where hypnosis actually came from. It actually came from mesmerism. I believe it was in 1800s. So mesmerism was a technique where you could affect people from a distance. Okay, now the science world got hold of it to debunk it, and they did a lot of controlled blind, double blind, triple blind experiments with it, and they actually debunked it. And do you know how they debunked it? They debunked it by using the placebo effect. Okay, now they actually invented a new form that's greater than that, which is the placebo effect. So mind over matter. So you can actually trick the mind into altering physical material reality.
Like the tablets, you get the sugar tablets, the placebo tablets you can get with pharmacies.
So some people will stop there and say, well, it's just a placebo effect. Okay, but do you realize how powerful the placebo effect is?
Yeah, the placebo effect is not to be discounted. It's a phenomena in itself.
I think I believe the Far East use it quite a lot, don't they?
We need to be our own placebo effect.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
Think about that. So rather than be the placebo effect of an external force, we can actually use our own placebo effect via the imagination, via visualization.
I realise that Darren Brown is who he is, but Darren Brown said something which is on a similar pathway about if you don't like your story, change your story. And that's the same sort of mindset, isn't it, really? You're creating your own reality. Yeah, your own narrative, exactly.
Yeah, if life is a movie, don't be sat in the peasant seats in a cheap cinema. Be the director.
Yeah, exactly. The script writer.
Now, just because I've said that doesn't mean to say that when you think something like, I want a better house, better car, that tomorrow morning you're going to wake up in a better house, better car. Well, you've also got to factor in that our ability to actually placebo affect ourselves has been degraded. Our ability to be influenced and affected externally has actually increased, because those who are doing it to us have mastered the art of, guess what? It's social engineering. This isn't nothing mystical. This is what we're witnessing and experiencing on a day-to-day basis. But we can actually change it. But it's going to take a little bit of time. The same with healing. It takes a little bit of time.
It is a form of healing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, this is healing. This is the being prepared or preparing and the repairing, the reparation of the self, of the inner functionings of the human. We're in a war, and people have got to, this is what we need to wake up to. We need to wake up to this war. The war isn't taking place in China, in Russia, Ukraine. Well, it kind of is. It's actually taking place. The invisible war is taking place right here, right now.
Yep. There's a war going on for our mind, for our attention, for our lives. Yeah, totally. The final frontier is inside the human minds.
But we can all participate. Yeah, we can all participate in this. Now, you could spend the rest of your life reading occult books, studying esoteric subjects and things like that. Alchemy, metaphysics, quantum physics, and everything else. But it's actually a lot simpler than that. Even what I've described right now, we can all participate in. And we can also, so as an example, the more awareness that we get, guess what? You get to see when it's being done to you because you're more aware. You start to have this almost like a radar when you can see potential inceptions, programs coming in.
I call it the firewall. Yeah, it's this is something that I think I tried to develop in myself a long time ago when I realised what was going on with in the media, especially after doing my media studies degree and then learning about all this stuff and really seeing how it was put together, simulation and simulacrum and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, once you do build up the firewall, and you can see the first layer behind everything, and then the second layer, it is kind of shit because it does stop you from enjoying a lot of things which you were previously able to enjoy, unfortunately. But then you got to sort of enjoy a whole other level of understanding and a different viewpoint and a different altitude, I guess, of being able to see exactly what this construct is. And I tell you what, I mean, I thought when I started doing Rise Above and everything that, I pretty much had it worked out and I was confident enough to, come on here and talk about it. But my learning curve in the last 2 years has been, exponentially steep and much steeper than it was in the first 20 years. Even in the last 6 months, like some of the conclusions that I've sort of personally come to about how all of this is actually working at a really deep metaphysical level. If I tried to say this to myself 3 or 4 years ago, nah.
So anything, the more you study, the more you... I mean, it's been much more intensive studying as well of this subject, of the life as such in the past 2 years than it has been in the past 20, for sure.
It's only quasi-theoretical now because we have so much working examples that's going on in front of us to talk about and to sort of extrapolate from. If you wanted to talk about these subjects 10, 15 years ago, it would have been much more difficult. There's a lot less source material. There's,
look at what happened to David Icke 4 years ago, I suppose, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just under.
Yeah, and now some of the really crazy stuff he said at the start, it's
not so crazy,
Not so crazy at all.
Yeah.
Like the really crazy stuff. So, yeah, I can still feel my feet. Right, let me start off here. 1 sec, hold on.
SDLR. An age of freedom.
Yo, stop, wait, recapitulate, elucidate when I paint this picture, mate. Co-creators don't imitate, best in the crater, they couldn't replicate. So I meditate, train and educate new recruits who don't hesitate to ID, track and eliminate any target the general delegates. This is World War 33, they call on hands and dirty knees, climbing dirty trees with more than 32 degrees. Cool kids to Anne Zabrinsky, silent weapons, you can't hurt me. My name is Double LMC. Yo, Sanders, you feel me? Mass awakening pending. This new earth is beginning, it's not ending. They know what you're thinking, they know what you're spending. This ancient Babylon system stays violating. It's frustrating, I hope Christ returns, but till then I'm not twiddling thumbs or waiting. Inorganic species send back the archons where they come from. Visiting me at night time, that's not wise. My warrior prayers will dump on them. True for the world, you just can't run from. Not of this world, I'm not one to stunt on. Keep your bandwagon, I won't jump on. Yeah, they won't jump on the night of a harvest moon. Moon, on the night of a harvest moon. I take flight to the farthest tomb. I meditate in the darkest room, but the candlelight into the spark exhumes. On the night of the harvest, I see a silhouette hunter hold up a carcass. A heartbeat's a target, blood trails behind that red carpet. On the night of a harvest moon, so sacred silk on an ancient loom. Hooded robes in ritual rooms, pray all night from yesterday's noon. Yo, on the night of a harvest, farmers emerge and they set up a market. It's all business regardless. Yo, I said under the night of a harvest moon, yo, I dropped to my knees and I harvest shrooms. Psilocybin subsistence farming, Sanders, tell them. They try and mandate drugs that kill 2,000 people, that sounds evil. What's coming through that needle? Leaving the people feeble. Swear this must be illegal. Better go do your research. End up looking like Smeagol, that's the sheeple. But I don't hate them. We are the people we've been lied to. Some are too far
Help if you try to. Don't let the truth fly by you. Gotta stand and fight like Ryu.
Predetermined before the womb. It was written on the walls of a tomb. The Ouroboros, the eternal circle, the infernal flames of Ra gonna burn you. Boil and curdle the shell off a turtle. 33rd degree epidermal. Fire dance and master traversal. Ascending all metaphysical hurdle. Subvert the spectrum like purple. DPM, decrease visibility. Camouflage adoring internal. Optic nerve, increase agility. Shaman tech, occult ability. Cause and effect, distort history. Dark sorcerer, cast misery. Shaolin voodoo, smooth delivery. Deploy catalyst converter. Deflect metaphysical murder. Inject sick lyrics, you heard her. My word's gonna take them further. I'll break it down for casual observers. If you're a sheep, I'm a herder. I take a shepherd and I serve him in a burger. Large fries, full fat slurper.
Mass manipulation, negative mental stimulation. I saw the yellow card scheme, maddest thing that I have seen. I ain't gonna get that. I ain't gonna let them jab me, can't trace me or track me. I'll just delete the app, G. I'll just delete the app. Propaganda is all cap. I can't stand people that give chat but can't ever take it back. They're always twisting facts. There's no debating that. I don't do conspiracy, I seek truth and report it back. I'm not taking part in no experiment on this prison planet. This system's had it. The truth's been hidden, it's been damaged. The Most High wipes out bloodlines. We don't fight against flesh or tough guys. It's all in the unseen realm. I see glimpses sometimes. I see the big picture now. Sit back, pull the scripture out. Books they tried to burn, I think they might listen now. I tried to forget religion, receiving premonitions, making sense of it all. Expose evil, get to winning.
Oppose all Soviet forces. They can come with their tanks and horses, driving 33 of Bill Gates' Porsches. Rise above that cement fortress. The most deep in the walls are enormous. Built of knowledge and multiple sources. They couldn't storm us, not climb at the pile of glorious corpses. Don't come with the eye of horrors. You still couldn't see our auras. Hunt rabbits, way cross the borders. The vertical rising forces. The third force installers control a Tauri inside the Taurus. Vertical rising for us, yes, medical borders. Sanders, double L rise above, extinguish fear when we generate, yeah. When we generate love, a single candle lights up the darkness. That is the power that we all harness. Yeah, you've heard of me, flame poison, like.
They're in a virtual headset, in a true virtual bench press, thinking why am I not hench yet? New world order on the way, so get set, get ready for the pushback. Resistance, I'm on that. Mental, physical, spiritual combat. They swerve the Bible, but listen to the con man. Get rich quick, I'ma have to, tunes are too sick. Might buy up some land and grow some fruit and veg before they bring the robots in. 1984, Lucas said it and told you all before. And the NPCs are for the cause, and the NPCs are for the cause. What's this? Some garage or something?
This is a remix of I Got 5 on it. It's a little bit slower.
Oh yeah, I noticed. That's nice.
Yo, listen, yo, listen, oi. Yeah, brothers, sisters, join the resistance. This is big, we need the assistance. Hard work and a lot of persistence to stop their plans, gonna end our existence. I throw a spanner in the works, tell the people F what you've heard. Exposing the names of the snakes that lurk. That's like killing 2 stones with 1 bird, or 2 birds with 1 stone. I flipped it around and I made them my own. I'm exposing things that were once unknown. You know this, you can't leave it alone, cause it's the age of information. Info spreads like an infestation. Whether you're consciously waking or sitting back with some high grade blazing.
I gave up prescribed medication, turned to prayer and meditation. We're in a spiritual war, it's clear when you read Revelations. I want a freedom celebration, 100,000 at a demonstration, cause they set the rules but their actions have no correlation. We don't want your microchip, bring that here and I might go sick. They want social credit, they'll bounce your check when the gyro hits. Pull out the violin, cause we can't comply with this. It's a big violation, if we just say no then we might just win.
Nice and articulate, well stated, I'm quite particular. But if I wanna turn it up, then my bars hit hard like a barbiturant. Knockout, pure petulance, shock out, show your restlessness. Every single word in a syllable, that's my final will and a testament. Let me manifest sacred manuscripts. No hatred if you can't handle it. I'm high-fiving, they're left handling. Yo, they're left dangling. Yo, enough of the boasting, it's my career and I'm done with the coasting. I smash this straight or just straight hosting. Yo, don't be voting, man for the south, host of the coast. Me got the good shit straight up a boat and me dash in the water. It still flow, hook that stash with the line and the rope and I'm representing straight from the seaside. On the beats, riding the beeline. Sanders next to me, ride the MIC.
Yeah. People annoy me, they don't know loyalty. They worship royalty. I speak truth and they tinfoil me. Think outside of the box, Babylon got them wired up. That's what desire does, ignite your soul and get fired up. I think these MPs are NPCs. I think most MCs are lying when they make their MP3s. Influence the kids to do these evil deeds. When will someone regulate their industry?
feel the energy. Get ready for the global synergy. This choice, make it willingly. Feel what I'm feeling, feel what I'm feeling. Yo, are you feeling me? Are you feeling me? I'm a beast, holy, holy. Yo, okay, let's do it. Yo, let's tear the roof off this bitch. It's Double L, who's ready for the switch? It's blatant. This boy ain't complacent. Shake the foundation from ceiling to basement. This is a system test. Shake the foundation from ceiling to basement. No words of enslavement. Yo, this is a system test. Adjust your parameters. Corrupt and scandalous life is crude and amorous. Are you a victim? Yeah. Cameras flash, they dazzle us. You can't predict the prayer. Overflow so deep and cavernous, deep and hazardous, with incredible length and wide diameters. Yo, I'm not your average maverick. Sanders, tell them, lay them.
Yeah. Certain man dabble in darkness. Their wicked ways bounce off God's armor back to the sender. I do prayer and fasting. 2 men try to take out Sanders. First time I fell, but I found myself in Christ and they took the L. Nowadays I live well. I live in love, not fear. They try kill through sorcery. Don't work on me, they're bored of me. Carry my spiritual sword with me. Got them cords off me. I am protected at all times. I got the Lord with me.
After the rapture, I navigate valley and pasture. I disguise my armor, the robes of a farmer. I move like a ninja, the tongue of an actor. Stay up win from the emperor's men. Laying submerged in a temperate fen. Temperatures raising the predator's den. Sever the head of malevolent men when a student outlives his master. Seppuku slices the final answer. Refusal is dishonor. Samurai code fractured. Sheridan Temple 33rd chapter. The Grand Abbot considers the factors. Release me or prolong my capture. Shuriken strike, instant reactor. Learn polymath, broke that code with a Shudu honors that. Dark pass, broadcast telegraph. Speak a silent word like a telepath. Twin blades, soul controller. The 2 pillars of the dome enclosure. The primal evil deed exposer. Codename written on the wanted poster. Wing this, code to the solar. Serpent energy, forbidden beholder. No servant master legacy from a bloodline that's older.
They've been selling their soul for fame and glory. That's their story. What's my story? Righteous glory. I don't wanna vote Labour Tory. They help with strings attached. 2 sides to the same arse, it's facts. They're power hungry, using us as lab rats. Propaganda pushed by the BBC. Bread and circuses lapped up by the NPCs. I like helping others, they're all like me. Raise the vibration, tune into the frequency, yeah. They hide the truth and push one narrative. Now, call you mad when you think for yourself and challenge it. Only some of us know what's happening. Now, when the truth gets out, I hope mankind can handle it. Finding a way to get rid of the juice, exhibit the truth. This is the proof. Me and the people just visit the news, cause this is abuse. This is abuse. I said this is abuse.
It's abusive.
Yeah.
Yo,
can't even finish the truth. Forgotten the bar, but the lyrics are truth in the booth.
This is more than lyrics, practical magics or quantum physics. Fasting and bargains, evil spirits acquiesce, appease my critics. Infinite essence can't be diminished. Fear inside your heart is extinguished. Spellcast, Enochian English, ULL the unlimited linguist. The Sumerian kings list, Nephilim ethics of Aryan princes. Skeptical methods of mothers and witches and shamans who mix plants in the kitchen, tied to a stake against their witches. That's where the contents of kerosene pitches, burned to a crisp, the word from a witness, hung by the neck and then dump them in ditches. Whoa, suppressing our knowledge of source, perplexed by a powerful force. The time man can't alter the course, history's homage to archontic laws. Yo, I'm here to revive what they hidden and I keep it alive. I make sure the sun, moon and stars and the planets collide when I vocalize.
Freedom's a must, breaking the shackles and chains and embracing the love. People are speaking the truth and they're taping them sharp. Governments bait and corrupt, governments bait and corrupt. Open your mind and just take it above. Higher dimensional frequencies harness their energy, it's all a bluff. The way they project their fear on the masses, this great awakening's massive. Stop speaking truth and the NPCs get passive. Might turn savage, unplug robotic humans. So feel like a show like Truman, breaking free of the matrix. We just gotta make improvements.
Clash of the Titans, blood splash, fantasy violence. Run from the harpy, the siren, the werewolf, the lichen. Dash for the silence. The way that I build up lyrics, same way psychics summon up spirits. Spelling out words from the letters on the Ouija board. From the demons you're reaching for, evil thoughts, greasy hordes. Speaking live from the other side. And my lips, they move with the force. There's a few points to clarify. Then want me to turn to the dark side and make a deal with the life force parasite. That's a burning appetite, observing the herd from a Death Star satellite. Them are serving the serpent, further the birth our purpose is working. Under the watchful guise of the all-seeing eye. Agents are lurking. Never tell me there's not a conspiracy when 5 billion are living life hurting. Not a friend to me, don't make me an enemy with the revolution. I'll be the first in, and I keep researching. 20 years deep in the cranium's bursting. You've got to put the work in away from this message MCs are shirking. Nowadays everybody wanna chat. Nowadays everybody wanna spit. Nowadays everybody bum wax. Nowadays everybody wanna mix.
Big up Double L.
Bruv, big up Standards. Come on.
Woo.
We're blowing the lid off the HQ tonight. Let's recapitulate. Wait, recapitulate, elucidate while I paint this picture, mate. Co-creators don't imitate the best in the crater, they couldn't replicate. So I meditate, train and educate new recruits who don't hesitate to ID, track and eliminate any target the general delegates. Stop, wait, recapitulate, God bad headlines, I love what you're doing, mate. I said shut up when you're the magistrate. Create a fury, I've got to congratulate. Stop, wait, recapitulate, keep going, please elaborate. Sanders, you onto a winner, mate. I need more rabbit and vag on my dinner plate. Shit. Rise above, what's the recipe? Yo, rise above, what's the recipe? Oma beats, sick melody, sex bots, schwabi and peasantry. Yo.
It's that rabbit hole tour guide. I don't drink the fluoride. Spit the truth in your eyes, and I'm out.
What did you just say, bro? The rabbit hole tour guide.
Rabbit hole tour guide. I don't drink the fluoride. Spit the truth in your eyes.
All right, let's get experimental. Okay. I'm gonna tell you something. Yo. This metaphysical ecosystem, demiurge contract Satan's kingdom. Human cattle were denied the wisdom of own free will, so default to victim. Energy pulled and pushed like a piston, serving the parasite, they can't resist him. Every word and deed they assist him. Yo. It's a farm, it can't be evaded. Written in Psalms and told by King David. Truth of the farm, can't be related. They tried to erase it. Truth of the knowledge, it was known by the Gnostics. It was forbidden topics. Yo, on the beats.
Big up everyone that stayed with us till this time in the morning.
Run into the witching hour.
Yeah.
Who's still tuned in? Big up Batfink 2, Cheech McDuck, James De Silva. That's right, it's the truth in the booth.
Someone said wrap it up at 3:03.
Yeah, 3:03 and 33 seconds just for good measure. But then Oma will try and put, no, we'll do it at 3:33. Next thing we know, we're here at 6:33 in the morning.
We can go to our 3 if you want. I don't mind, man. Whenever you want.
As long as you don't mind, you're keeping it his, mate.
Yeah.
Now listen, New Ra's Eve. When certain energies come together, we have to make the most. We have to capitalize on the situation. Trust me. Hang tight, everybody tuned in. Remember, share this one on your Telegram groups, on your Insta, on your Twitter, on your Sugar Mountain account.
Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
For more tea with... Watch I Pity the Fool, Wednesday nights at 10, only on TV.
That's sick. See, we're always building the audio sphere. Big up Toby Phillips, I see you, brother. Everybody tuned in, I see you, I feel you. We're all connected, feel that energy. Double L's a shaman with a wand, and I'm casting now. Enochian power, go straight from my mouth. Double L's a wizard with a wand, and I'm casting now. Holy shit, what's going on? Who said that? Was it me? Yo, listen. No contest without the adversary. Demons and angels, it's cursory. Let's take those glasses off. I don't want to see the outside world. Let's go within. Here we go. I'm a lifelong student of the occult, searching for verses locked in a vault, yearning for scriptures buried in a tomb, yearning pictures in deep catacombs, learn the prophecy buried in dirt. That's why Double L's heavy with words. Draw for the sword, bury them first. Samurai tongue, severing nerves. Focus, intent, remember. Execute, manifesta. That's the system that we present from. Inner guardians, inner protector. Inner guardians hidden within. Deep in the This was another story this week.
Yep, more fucking retardation.
So Netflix in the first time has lost like millions of subscribers, and it was exactly the same time that I think it was Apple brought out the pregnant man emoji, and also Netflix has released this. He's expecting.
Wait, there's a pregnant man emoji.
Yeah, there's more than one. There's a whole series of pregnant
Seriously?
man emojis. Yeah, people have got rid of their smartphones and gone for burners because of it.
Oh my days.
Oh, Helen says the dogs are saying hello to the Ra family. Hello, Inner Guardians dogs.
Good evening, Mrs. Guardians.
Mrs. Guardians. Okay, so this is the thing as well.
Oh my God.
And you know, we've already made the distinction between people who are gay and trans and this crazy trans rainbow agenda. So if anyone's wondering if we're right-wing bigots or not, please go back and listen to other shows when we've explained that in detail. Big difference between this sort of deliberate inversion here that
they're filling kids' fucking minds with.
Oh, yeah.
If you just Google, someone sent this to me earlier, a screenshot of, if you just put into Google, can men get pregnant? It comes up straight up as yes. This is more common than you may think. I mean, no.
It links into a story I'm going to cover in a second regarding Disney as well. So keep this in your minds about this agenda.
Disney and Epstein.
Just chuck this in for good measure. This is obviously from Sagehead.
The Rothschild arms.
Is that Barack Obama
with Hillary Clinton
having a lunchtime meeting?
Then we've got the sign of the pub. It's a fucking pentagram, inverted pentagram
everywhere. There's like the seal of Lucifer.
The seal of Lucifer,
there.
Perfect, and look on the chimney at the top. There's a fucking goat's head coming through, a ram's horn coming through the chimney.
It's like a Where's Wally picture. You've got to carry on looking at it to get the next occulted level.
God, you wouldn't want to live next door to that, would you?
Shout out to Lord Doobsworth, Art Matters, Bath Northeast, everyone else tuned in. And we've got 365 days a year. Rise Above Live.
Rise above, generate, rise above,
okay.
Rise above.
Oh, we got some stats.
This is one of those stories where I'm going to have to use some heavily occulted Aborigine slang language to avoid Al Gore butt fucking me live on air. Right?
So, guys, if you don't understand what we're talking about, go back to the ABC of Rise Above.
Go back and learn the alphabet, peasants. Right. So this new H word that is we're going to call it hippopotamus. It's come out in the last couple of weeks. There's been a hippopotamus pandemic with kids. Now, obviously, the first injection into the narrative from the Soviet info lords is that it's caused by the people's pandemic and the virus. However, it very quickly, and I'm reading left to right here. If you look in the middle, this is from the Journal of Hepatology. So I guess they study hippopotamus at a minute level, right? They said
issue 3 on March 22nd, 322.
Yeah. Immune-mediated hippopotamus with the modify your RNA, Britney Spears, is no longer an element of coinciditis. It's actually confirmed. Okay, you've got to watch Rise Above to understand what I just said, or you can just read the screen. So, when I read this today, and I was actually sent some of this by Tara Slim and other people as well, right? I did a bit of research, and the first thing that literally popped onto my lap straight out the rabbit hole was this thing on the right. It's a note from Public Health England that came out on the 27th of November, 2020. And it's actually, I'll let you read it and zoom in because I'm not going to read it out. But what it basically is, it's a note to people that are administering the Britney Spears at the concert. And it basically says a prerequisite of doing that is you have to have had a hippopotamus inoculation before you go there. And if any reason you get accidentally Britneyed while you're administering it to other concert goers, you have to immediately rush to get a hippopotamus injection.
Wow.
Now, the naysayers will say, well, if that needle had hippopotamus on it from someone that was infected, you need to have the... Wait a minute, is there one of these for every single infection that could have gotten the needle? Or is it just hippopotamus? Makes you wonder. If you are at the Britney Spears concert and you're dishing out lifetime achievement tickets, right, and you accidentally Britney yourself, why have you got to rush to go and get inoculated for hippopotamus?
Interesting.
Very interesting. That's a new one for the alphabet, hippopotamus. Okay. So, let's keep an eye on this story because this only came out this week and we can add it to the list of other
It's a freshie, guys.
Yeah, it's freshie. And other immuno diseases that are getting piled onto the massive heap of the people's pandemic. So,
I'm curious to know what they actually do with the needles once they've used them.
Well, Master Lee, there's no
in the bin with the mask.
Yeah, like there's no mask bins, like we've discussed with the fucking biohazard bins.
No, I think they rebag them, send them round to another centre.
Reuse them, yeah. That would be more efficient.
Sterilise them in graphene.
They might spit on them and then clean them.
Yeah, quick spit and polish.
Wipe them.
So yeah, anyone can have a look into this and make sure I'm not just making it up. I've got this hashtag. No one got the memo, because we've like covered the high level Coviet ministers got Pfizer face, right? The digital minister for New Zealand, or one of the New Zealand counties or states or whatever they're called over there, got Pfizer face. The digital Coviet minister for Canada, Theresa Tang, I think that's her name. She got Pfizer face, and there was one other as well.
Justin Bieber,
yeah, Justin Bieber, and his missus got Pfizer face, both of them. Or at least I read an article that said that. I don't know about the legitimacy, but it looks like Sadiq Khan may have suffered with coinciditis. Or
Did he not get the memo?
Or climate change, as it said. Look at that.
Careful.
It says climate change literally just right under his head. Is that like? Yes, he suffered a while at the COP26 climate change conference.
well, he was so shocked. He was so shocked at the apocalyptic future that climate change is going to inflict upon humanity, and that his only way out was to just bow out and daff.
Because I guess inside the conference there was no actual climate change, but he was showing graphs and figures. So is that like passive climate change? Like, you know, you die from passive smoking. like you, okay, if climate change can give you coinciditis, right? Well, what about if you like see the effects or like the secondhand effects of climate change, then you get like passive climate change coinciditis. Who knows? But yeah, no one got the memo. Who are some other good examples we can think of?
We've got 3 emails here.
All right.
One's from me. So we've got Bruce. He's saying, can't believe no one's emailed in. So I'm saying, hi, guys. Hope you're all good. Thanks, Bruce.
Big shout to Bruce.
We've got Lee. He's emailed, I'll have one if you get this. My phone won't let me do multitasking.
Oh, yeah.
Well, respect, love your work.
Ask him if he wants Ryan Sanders or Terra Slim.
Okay, I'll email them back. Well, I mean, they're listening, guys. Which one do you want? Well, it's one each, isn't it?
Lee
what about me? I've emailed in as well. I said I deserve the CD because I'm the only peasant who's emailed in. But obviously, that's,
you were too late. Someone beat you.
That's all right. That's fine. So they get one each. They get one each. Look.
Fucking time waster.
Yeah, peasants.
Who are some other good examples of high-level people that didn't get the memo? I can think of one. The Queen, the Princess of Thailand.
I was literally just going to say that. Yeah.
Yeah, the King of Thailand.
Wow, we've got a live meme here from Auntie Covia.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You'll like this.
How did it come?
I'm gonna ping it. It's on my Facebook. I'm gonna send it over to yours.
Yeah, send it to my Facebook.
This is.
We love it. So.
There we go.
Oh, stop! No. No.
Wow, this is great work, Auntie Covia. Top marks again.
Wait a minute.
Let's get that up.
I don't know if I like
Let's broadcast this.
Is that me as old school? Is that old school
David Icke? Yeah.
Oh my God. I thought it was Jimmy Savile.
No. It's David Icke. It's King David. This is Lance Icke.
This is like
David Murdoch. This is David Murdoch.
This is David Icke in 1991 on Philip Wogan.
Terry Wogan show.
I said Philip Wogan. I'm thinking it's Philip Schofield too much. Oh, Auntie Covia, what an honour. What an honour. Thank you so much. Because this is David, or King David, in his turquoise stage, as it's known, when he used to wear the turquoise tracksuit.